I'm too broke to pay for a fitness coach, but I already pay for Chat GPT. So for the next 30 days, I'm going to let AI control my training. My biggest struggle has always been balancing all the different sports and exercise that I want to do. And now that I'm getting older, I don't just want to train more, I want to train smarter. For me, it's more important than ever to make every session count. But literally 2 days into this, I tore my LCL at Jiu-Jitsu. Suddenly this wasn't about balancing my training anymore. It was about whether AI could keep me progressing towards my goals while I couldn't do 90% of the stuff that I normally would. Basically, can it act like a real coach? My main goal right now is to lose a little bit of fat and do a bit of a cut, because honestly, I'm carrying a bit more weight than I'd like at the moment. And with a baby on the way in the next few months, I know things are about to get a little bit hectic. Sleepless nights, late night takeaways, less time for training, you get the idea. That's why I really want to make the most of the time that I have now. Actually train smarter and not just more. And see if AI can finally help me do that. I feel like I've been training hard and consistently, but I never really feel like I'm actually getting closer to the results that I want. So I'm hoping this experiment can change that. So here's the original prompt that I gave ChatGPT. I'll leave it in the description along with the video that I adapted it from. In short, I told it my goals, my schedule, the sports I love, my strengths, weaknesses, what equipment I've got access to, and even how I wanted it to coach me and give me feedback. ChatGPT then asked me a few follow-up questions, how long I wanted sessions to be, what days I normally train. And from there, it spat out some calorie target, training zones for cycling, even had some strength goals for me, and then a full week one plan. So what days I was cycling, doing jiu-jitsu and training in the gym. And that's the thing that I really wanted it for, because I was struggling mainly with how to balance everything. And then it even told me how I should report back and how this sort of relationship as a coach would work. So every Sunday I'd have to share how these sessions felt, what my weight was, my resting heart rate, and the general sort of RPE for any of the session. And most importantly, any injuries. So with that, I then got started. So I did the first back session that it prescribed to me, and then I woke up the next day and went to jiu-jitsu. And right at the end of the class, there's a loud pop, sharp pain in the side of my knee. Straight away, it felt quite bad. Honestly, my first thought was more about the fact that I wouldn't be able to kind of keep progressing towards the goals that I'd set the day before and not be able to train properly for maybe weeks or months. Later that day, because I am sad, I went and spoke to my new fitness coach about it. I was just venting basically, but it actually gave me some really positive responses. One, it started calling me mate, which is a nice touch, but more importantly, it reminded me that I could still actually hit the original goals that I told it about. It gave me a list of things that I could actually focus on. I think my brain immediately jumped to all the things I wouldn't be able to do, and it reframed that for me and told me all the things I could do. And it even adjusted that first week training plan around my injury. But you do need to take this with a pinch of salt, because in the first week it literally prescribed like military overhead press, cycling, and I was struggling to even walk, so you do need to use your common sense as well. But the fact that it was adapting at all was when it started to feel a bit more like a real coach for me, not just creating a structured workout plan that everyone knows that you can do with AI. Or maybe it's because of the whole mate thing. So week one was basically just hobbling around. There was no jiu-jitsu, no cycling. I was still able to do my upper body days at the gym, but for once the main thing was me actually focusing on my diet. That was the main goal, and I was using the calorie target that ChatGPT had initially set out for me. I discussed with it about whether I needed to change that, the fact that I wasn't doing as much exercise as normal, and it told me to stick to it and see what happens basically. But by the end of the week I could manage some light walking, which helped me keep my step count up, and even with way less training than usual, I was already down about 1 kilo or 2.2 pounds. I even tried cycling again, but yeah, that didn't go well. By week 2, things were picking up. Coach told me to pick up my steps back to 10k as long as it was pain-free. Coming up to 12,000 steps. And as long as I wasn't twisting really, my knee felt fine. I kept hammering the sort of upper body sessions, basically doing a 5-day upper body split, which sounds a bit mental, but it was fun. I even felt a bit more stable to do some like overhead press and things like that. But most importantly, again, I just stuck to my calorie target. What I was doing at this point as well was I was actually doing daily weigh-ins. So every morning I would literally just tell it my weight, because it gave me this chart where It had a sort of go faster line, a progress rate of what you're currently at, and then a goal just to hit the target deadline, which for me was when the baby was due in November. I also told my coach about my late night snacking problem. Like anytime I've ever tried to diet, I always end up eating loads of calories in the evening. I do really well throughout the day. And it actually reassured me I was normal, which is questionable, but it gave me some pretty usable advice in order to how to deal with that, like a snacking buffer in the evenings and stuff. Now, sometimes it does just straight up lie and you have to be ready to call it out, but sometimes it would get my weight wrong or put it on the wrong day on the chart and that kind of thing. As long as you're on top of it, it usually corrects itself. Now, normally I'd get a bit cocky at this point because of my progress and I'd probably eat my body weight in Galaxy. This time I literally told it that, and it gave me strategies to stop it happening again. It was honestly being more supportive than most of my mates, which is a little bit worrying. I did also give cycling another crack, but yeah. Still no. Right now, I'm halfway through week 3, and I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I don't need to do a full 30 days of this to know I'm 100% going to keep doing this going forward. Let's be clear, AI is nowhere near as good as a real coach. It gave me some pretty bad advice, and if I hadn't had some experience, it might have made my injury a bit worse. With a bit of common sense, it gave me plenty of good advice too. Honestly, it's got me in the best shape that I've been in for a very long time. So I've lost about 4.5 kilos in just over 3 weeks, and I'm honestly in the best shape that I've been in for a really long time. I'm currently on track to absolutely smash the target that I originally set for November, and I'm really excited to see where it takes me next. It's a bit weird that I'm just sat with my top off now. Okay, bye.